So let's talk about this guy. First off, man, I want to say dicks out for the guy that posted these markers, okay? I want to tell you something, man. I respect you. I admire you. However, because I am a TOS abiding citizen, I think you should be cast out of the community. But let's just pretend for a second that I'm not a TOS abiding citizen, okay? I admire you. I respect you. Thank you for your sacrifice. I want to add your name to the Hall of Fame of people that took one for the team. While other people might not thank you, I want to make an announcement, everyone. Okay, this is Zeems here, and I want to officially wank the person that put the markers down for the P7 because it will help a lot of groups and you the king, and that's it. I want to add this person in the Hall of Fame as the person that made this game a better game to play. We can add them to the people that use UI mods and then get banned. Because in this game, how Square Enix handles shit is they'll see you doing something wrong that should already be in the game. So what they do, they ban your fucking ass and then they take your idea. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think that's pretty fucked. If anybody doesn't think that's fucked up, then we can just agree to disagree. But how the fuck are you gonna ban somebody and then literally use the thing that they got banned for? You put it in the game. What the fuck kind of sense does that make? Okay, so anyway, we have confirmed a situation in which waymarks are being placed outside of the battle arena through the use of third-party tools and other illegitimate means. Whoa, no. We would like to explain the views of the development and operations team regarding the situation with consideration of the mechanisms of waymarks. Regarding the waymark system, waymarks are markers that can be placed on the field and therefore can be placed when they are in contact with the ground. Okay. When placing individual waymarks, they are validated by whether or not they are in contact with the ground. If they are not, then the waymark cannot be placed. However, in the case of duties where battle arenas change during combat, players are permitted to place waymarks for the changed battlefield after completing the duty and save them to be used in the future. As such, waymark placements loaded from save slots are not validated by whether or not they are in contact with the ground. In this case, third-party tools were used to illegitimately place waymarks at coordinates where they normally could not be placed. This placement was then saved and loaded by different players, resulting in the circulation of waymarks with illegitimate coordinates. I mean, how about you fucking design fights where you can put waymarks down when the arena changes? Like, why are they making a big deal about this? I just don't understand. Let me ask you guys a question in chat. How many of you used the waymarks for P7? Okay, see, that was a debate. Okay, that was a debate. All right, you see him? Yo, you see him? You see him, right? You see him. You're watching this, right? Okay, every single one of you. Hold on, who is this? Let's see. Delsware, Pogskill, Namuli. You see these Twitch chatters, right? Yeah, fucking ban them. Fuck them up. Fuck him up, Yoshi. Fuck him up like the one guy, man. Fucking burn his ass. Fucking get him. They're cheating. They're cheating and you're a witness to it. They're a witness to it. I just want you to know. All right, sorry, guys. I want to be involved in the media tour next year, so I had to throw you guys under the bus. Sorry about that. My issue with this, right, is that, like, look, if you're going to design a raid where the arena changes, which, by the way, I'm a big fan of 7's arena. I think it's really cool. I think the 3 different platforms is a neat idea. But either one, make it to where you can place markers above ground, which I don't think that would be too wrong. Or 2, just make it to where you can place markers during combat. I don't understand. Like, Square Enix created this problem. They created the problem by making it where you can't place markers. Like, this is a problem created by Square Enix. Like, how are we supposed to put the markers down on a part of the arena that isn't at the beginning or the end? I don't understand. They created this issue. Anyways, account penalties for using illegitimate waymarks. For this instant, as illegitimate waymarks can be saved or loaded without the use of third-party tools or other illicit means, and may be difficult for players to distinguish their legitimacy, we will not be issuing account penalties for the use of illegitimate waymarks which were saved and loaded via the waymark feature. Yo, can you imagine the outrage? Can you imagine if they issue penalties to everybody that ever used those? Pretend you're a casual player. You're working your way up. You cleared P5 the first week, P6 the second week, you know, doing P7 this week or whatever. Or, you know, let's say you started P7 last week. You went in in and you save the Waymarkers. You have no idea how the fuck that they saved them. You have no idea about any of this third-party shit, but you saved them. But then you get banned or you get an account penalty for saving them. Can you imagine how fucked up that would be from Square Enix's position? They're not issuing penalties because of the outrage, because I bet you if they could get away with it, they would. JP people were reporting blacklisting people for just having the... Why are JP players so pussy? Because over here in NA, we were like, oh, hell yeah, you got them Waymarkers, right? Saving that shit. Matter of fact, I'm putting you on my friends list just in case I lose them. Why are they so pussy? JP players were leaving parties if someone had those markers. What? That's really fucking weird, man. Holy shit, that's some brainwash shit right there. Moving forward, however, should you come across illegitimate waymarks placed outside of the battle arena or any location where they cannot be placed through proper means, even after the battle arena has changed, we ask that you do not save or load them. Ooh. We also ask that you delete any such waymarks you may have saved. At this time, all waymarks placed outside the battle arena at the start of the battle 7 circle contain illegitimate coordinate data. Okay, let me ask you a question. Who's gonna delete their saves? Yo, I gotta tell you, man, those markers in P7 are nice, dude. Okay, so I have a question. What happens if I'm in a party and someone else uses them? Can I stay in that party? It doesn't say I have to report them, does it? It just says I have to delete them. Future implementations. As the illegitimate waymark data is already in circulation and has provided an unfair advantage to players who have saved the data. I feel like that's a bit of a stretch. And the reason why I feel like that's a bit of a stretch is because who the fuck doesn't have these markers saved? Like at this point, who cares? Like if you cared so much, then why didn't you care 2 weeks ago? It just doesn't make sense to me, man. If you're telling people to not use them, then the people that haven't cleared, they're not going to be able to use them. So I think that's more unfair than just keeping, like they're already in circulation. Okay, anyway, has provided an unfair advantage to players who have saved the data, and with consideration to existing player strategies, we have decided to allow all players to play similar waymarks, okay, without relying on illicit means. Specifically, certain fields will be made slightly larger to allow for the placement of waymarks at the same coordinates through they're making the arena bigger. We apologize as this will not be implemented immediately, as setup and testing for this will not be completed in time for patch 6.21. We will share an update when the implementation schedule has been finalized. We have decided to allow all players to place similar waymarks. Okay, so they don't care? Dude, this raid tier is scuffed, man. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna delete mine, and if other people put them down, I'm just not gonna save them. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I gather. As long as you don't use them, then you're okay. But if other people use them, because they don't tell you to immediately leave and report the player, I'm not leaving a party that places them. Okay, let's read the Reddit post, man. Let's read the Reddit post. Do note that this is not really okay, this is actually a huge issue that is circulating around Japanese data centers. For the sake of convenience, I'm copying the conversation. I had an, okay. JP, okay, waymarks that are placed illegally is known as, holy fucking okay, Dapu Maka. Literally means markers that escape. Markers that escape the law. And that marker is designed for people to know where to exactly stand during, okay. And then it was brought to pugs and literally spread around, which makes sharp players realize that placing the waymarks outside the initial area is impossible because the system doesn't allow it. Went into police mode. Catches those who break the rules. Those who do so are memed as Saigamon Justice Man. What? A set of rule-abiding markers were then created after week 1. It's known in Japanese community as Goha Makau, meaning legal waymarks. From here onwards, there will be 2 scenarios. Using the so-called illegal waymarks in JP will cause people to leave the instance with or without explanation. Using the waymarks will call, oh my God, dude, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Maybe my mentality comes from just like how I grew up and shit. So just real quick backstory. You know, I grew up like super fucking poor and shit. Whenever I had a job, I was a yes man. Yes, I'll do it. Yes, I'll do it. Okay, work on the weekends. Okay, work without pay. Okay, work on my break. Okay, yes. Basically, I was a big fucking cocksucker. I was a big fucking yes man. I did whatever because I had to. And I didn't know any better. I was young. I was stupid. I couldn't think for myself. Whenever shit like this happens, like, bro, you are playing a fucking game. The company has obviously fucked up. It's not your fault. it's their fault. But these people think that it's their fault. They're in such sheep mode that they just do whatever they're told, man. And like, seriously, it gives me flashbacks of when I used to be like that, man. Of when I used to always just always do whatever the fuck people told. And it's like, even if they were wrong, like I knew, like I remember, I knew they were wrong, but I still did it. And I just think back to those times and I'm like, why? Why was I like that? I don't understand. Now, I know that might be a stretch to compare these two situations, but just I'm trying to put myself in a person's shoes that lives that life, and then they play the game. They play this game to escape that life, because that's why you play games. You want to play games to have fun. And even in the game, you're a fucking sheep. Even in your escape, you're a fucking sheep, man. And it just makes me sad, dude, honestly. It's respect. See, that's the thing, though, is that respect is earned and respect can be lost and it can be regained. Like, people make mistakes. Companies make mistakes. You know what? Maybe I'm just thinking about this way too hard. This is just how it affects me. Anyway, sorry for the rant. First of all, while the JP people would mass report whoever places the so-called illegal waymarks, the problem lies in not everyone actually uses third-party tools. Oh, shit. That's fucked up. Imagine if you had no idea about third-party tools and you just placed them and somebody reported you for that and you have no, like, you're completely ignorant. That's fucked up. And some just innocently copy it without knowing the details of how it works. Yeah, this will end up in confusion even more than before. If unreported, the battle may go on, but since this has been brought to attention, the right way to do for them is to leave the instance because they do not want to be associated with wrongdoings that are determined by the TOS. This has been pointed out by the community as well. If we can catch the ones who created the waymarks and use them, that would be easy. But if someone isn't aware of the situation and just copy the waymarks and use it without knowing consequences behind it, it'd be unfair to punish them because they didn't know the context behind the issue. Okay, that's really good. That's really good. So I'm going to assume Square said that. Therefore, this is likely the purpose of that announcement from Square Enix. Okay. As someone who saved those waymarks, I genuinely had no idea they weren't placed legitimately. I just assumed you could place them outside the bounds of you knew how to use waymarks properly. Seems insane that someone's getting punished for this to me, since like they only barely help for purgation. This is just Square Enix's mistake. You know, no company's perfect. I do respect that Square Enix realizes that people that did not place them by illegitimate means and just copy, you know, use them, they're not the ones like at fault. They shouldn't be blamed. So the fact that they said that, I got to tell you this though, they worded some of this really poorly or something, man. I don't know. You know, maybe that's the NA coming out. I just can't really read, but it's actually hilarious to me that this much of a stink is being raised about the markers, where the difference between them and the legal ones is that you walk slightly to the left and then it's the same. What is this? Oh, wow. I just don't see why you can't place a marker right here. I just don't get it. What's the big deal about the fucking markers, man? I just don't fucking get it. I think that if you put waymarkers in the game, you should be able to place the waymarkers. Like, this whole situation is created by Square, and this is Square's fucking problem. They created this mess. I have no sympathy for that. They need to fix their shit. This is their problem because they made it their problem. They made it to where you couldn't place waymarkers in combat. They made it to where the arena changes, but you can't place the markers beforehand because there's no ground there. They just need to fix this shit. So I think this whole shit is ridiculous. And I want to say dicks out to the guy who put these way markers, because you're a godsend in the party finder. I want to thank you right now. You get a round of applause from me, good sir. Thank you very much. I'm going to tip my scholar hat. I learned a lot from those waymarks. Thank you.